Yo, what up? Give me what up, wake up people. That was my life, dude. I was the party dude, living it up in Dubai. And then, crash came. Oh shit, what's happening? I can go back to the corporate world. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I'm blah, 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 blah. Oh, what am I doing here, man? Blah, 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 blah. Enough! I can't take it anymore! What's that? What am I doing here? Forget about it. Ow! One-way ticket to India. Hi, I'm Moustafa. And like most of you here, I was bitten by the crisis in Dubai. I lost stocks, properties, cash, and most of all, my business. My business was part of the group that owned the Cavalli club, the 400 nightclub, the nightlife. My lifestyle was burning the candle at both ends. Partying, models, drinks, fun, spending my money on cars, women, suits, shoes, ties. I just threw away actually 30 ties. Who has 30 ties? This is the vanity life that I used to live. And when the crash happened, I looked inside, I turned inwards, and you know what? I didn't like what I saw. So I decided to get delusional again, get back to the corporate world, keep fighting for something that didn't mean, keep fighting for my image and ego that I invested in, the mistakes that they referred to for 13 years. And one day I couldn't do it anymore. I literally took off. And what I'm going to tell you today is a story against all the other stories that you heard of. It's a story not about how to fight. It's not a story about how to keep going or putting 200%. It's actually a story about how to give up. It's a story about how to quit, and it's a story about how to get lost. How to get lost so you can find yourself. How to quit struggling so you can fight for what's truly meaningful to you. It all started with a journey or a trip that was supposed to be a 2-week journey of giving up who I am to become who I'm meant to be. Because I ended up, instead of 2 weeks, coming back 4 months later with no plan. And the first step was a one-way ticket to India with no plan except getting lost there. My heart was calling for it. I kept on resisting it for 2 years. Since the crash, my heart said, just go, get lost, trust in God, trust in the universe, you'll find your way. But my mind did not want that. I went to Rishikesh, hometown of yoga in India. I was still a tourist. I went on climbing, hiking, rafting, didn't even bother with yoga. I kept on moving towns. I knew inside me something was missing. And I ended up in the town of Manali. And this is where, through a friend of a friend of a friend, through what might be a coincidence or what was meant to be, I was sent to a yogi that was going to help me fix my back. That was the original purpose, only to know that this is a yogi that you hear about in stories and you see in movies. That yogi just came out of a cave, and what I'm telling you is my true story. He's been in a cave for 13 years in solitude, and lucky me, I came to India at the time that he just came out of the cave. I went to see him about my back, and he looked at me. He's semi-blind, and he went, You know what? I was intimidated. I knew he saw right through me. He saw all the way inside me. So I took my yoga moves and said bye-bye, and I ran away. You might have seen me earlier in my ashram outfit. And all I did there was sit and meditate. And through another twist of faith, by coincidence again, I ended up stepping into a hospital just for a checkup. Don't ask me why again, another coincidence. And my life came crashing apart. I found out that I had what the doctors labeled as an incurable disease by the medical terms. They said, a lifetime of medication or a surgery. And this is when I really went from inside. And I said, what have I done to myself? Is it really worth it? That was my wake-up call. That was the voice screaming in my head. And I prayed to God, please, God, show me the way. Please, I don't want anything anymore. I give it all up. And I got a sign to keep going. And this is when I decided not to come back to Dubai till I solve everything. 4 weeks later, meditation, nutrition, healing, energy healers, I was cured. The doctors don't buy it till now. I've got the test to show it. And this is when I knew that I had to give it all up again. Because even this was still for fun. I didn't want anything. I even gave up my fun, and I moved south. I followed my yogi. And you know how I lived? I literally gave everything up, and I wore a sarong and rented a fisherman's room in a fisherman's village. I was paying $6 a night for a room and eating for $3. And I went on for some days, up to 10 days on water only, in solitude and meditation and reflection, just sitting with the yogi, contemplating about how my life has been going, looking inwards. And when I kept on going so deep that I reached the point that I understood what was happening to me, I realized that the journey inwards had only begun. It's not the end. And thus I decided to come back to Dubai. It took me a couple of months to integrate and be able to even talk to people since I came to Dubai. Now that's my story, which doesn't really matter. What matters is what's your story. And what I'm going to give you today is what matters to you. I'm going to give you the $1 million question. Everybody's here, let's face it. You're in Dubai to make your $1 million, and I'm going to give you your $1 million question. Question is, what makes you tick? What really matters to you in life? What would you wake up every morning willing to dedicate your life to and get excited about, regardless of the money? That's the only question ever worth answering. And I promise you, when you can answer that question, when you drop who you are to become who you're meant to be, and you quit the struggle, you'll find the inner energy to fight. Me? Well, I decided to pay it forward. The trip changed my life, so I decided to start a Ponzi scheme. I am honest. I'm going to take, that's my target for this year, at least 12 people from this room on a trip to India, just for 1 week. It's a condensed one. I already have a show of hands, and I'm going to help those people connect with their inner being to find out what truly matters to them. And hopefully when they come back, they pay it forward. That's the kind of a Ponzi scheme the world needs. Thank you.